the proud Baltimore Colts, this was the beginning of the end.
And here comes the field goal unit on the field. It'll be a long one. 42 yards. Slight angle from the left. Now that may make it 43 now as Franklin eases back. Here's the snap. The kick is in the air. It's far enough. It is good!
But for their opponents, the underrated Cleveland Browns, this was the end of the beginning.
Flip to Jim Brown, turning left end. He's to the 40, 45, 50, 45, 40. Jim Brown to the 30. He's to the 20. Jim Brown is down on the 17-yard line.
A beginning which started 2 years earlier under the combined dynamic ownership of Art Modell with the expert field leadership of Blanton Collier.
Here is Ryan to throw. He's chased out of the pocket. He fires to Collins. Touchdown for the Browns.
Skeptics had labeled the 64 Browns laugh champs. Baltimore's Colts weren't laughing now.
Warfield again flanks left. Collins is out 6 at right end. Ryan back to throw. Pumps, throws a long one to Collins. He's wide open. He's got it at the end. A touchdown for the Browns.
December 27th, 1964, Cleveland's Municipal Stadium. This is when and where the 1965 Browns story must begin, for this is when and where their championship maturity was fully achieved.
Warfield flanking left. Collins splits 8 at right end. Ryan to throw. Blitz on. There's a long bomb to Collins, and he got the ball. He's in there for a touchdown.
The final score, the Browns 27, Baltimore nothing. The groundwork had been laid, the championship structure was built. The success of this year's 1965 Cleveland Browns unofficially began during that memorable 1964 title game with Baltimore. The Browns had beaten the best to become the best. Now, to remain the best, Coach Blanton Collier's sound philosophy for 1965 was to take each game one at a time. How well they succeeded is now National Football League history. From the moment their 65 campaign was launched, September 19th, in tropical 90-plus degrees heat at Washington's D.C. Stadium.
Bob Jenks on the approach. There's the kick of the season is underway, and it's taken 1 yard deep in the end zone by Kelly. He's out to the 10, left sideline, 15, gets slipped and falls down the 18-yard line, and Jenks is the man who hit him.
Until its successful climax, November 28th in near freezing temperatures at Pitt Stadium.
He gives the scales at right tackle over the 20 to the 24-yard line. The first down, and there's the gun. The ball game is over.
Their road to repeat victory was traveled in true championship tradition, one at a time. At the stroke of midnight, New Year's Eve, 1964, 1965 was ushered in, bringing with it new hopes, new disappointments, and new challenges to the newly crowned 1964 world champion Cleveland Browns. Now it's July.
19. It's through, Jim. It's through.
And as the Browns assemble at their Hiram, Ohio training camp, head coach Blanton Collier sounds the theme for the new season.
Defending a championship is harder than winning it the first time.
Blanton's victory philosophy for repeating as champions is fundamentally basic.
We must continue to execute and play each game one at a time.
The strategy was simple. The Browns' execution nearly letter perfect throughout their 6-game preseason exhibition schedule. San Francisco fell 37-21. LA's Rams went down 21-19. Detroit's Lions lost 28-14, as did the Pitt Steelers 28-16. Only the Green Bay Packers placed a higher total on the scoreboard at game's end. The Browns won 5 of 6 exhibition games, including their August 6th inaugural 24-16 win over Otto Graham's College All-Stars in Chicago. However, Cleveland's brilliant second-year flanker Paul Warfield suffered a double fracture on the left clavicle and was lost to the team for nearly 20 weeks. The chartered airliner carrying the 1965 Cleveland Browns into Washington for their season's opener against the Redskins was minus Paul Warfield, but not quiet confidence. September 19th, Washington's D.C. Stadium. Temperatures in the high 90s, but the heat cannot match the fever running rampant among the Redskin ball club and the Redskin fans. Both factions feel this is to be their year. Scoring thunder strikes in the first quarter, but it's the toe, not the tomahawk.
Bobby Franklin now will kneel. He's spotting it at the 19.5, closer to the 20. We're going to call it the 20. Ball down, kicks in the air, and it is good. First score of the year.
Browns 3, Redskins nothing. The experts reason Paul Warfield's absence could be disastrous. They reckon without the presence of his replacement, Walter Roberts, the world's mightiest flea.
Browns out of the huddle, starting at the 20-yard line. Roberts flank left. Slot back to the right is Ernie Green. Collins has split about 10 at right end. Ryan's going to throw it. Set. Fires. Deep. Middle. Roberts. It is. He's got the 40 of the Redskins. He's to the 20 to the 15. He's going all the way for a touchdown.
Cleveland 10, Washington nothing. The Redskins try to go on the warpath, first on the ground.
Here's Mitchell, flank right. Both ends out about 3 yards. On the draw, Taylor's really snowed on there. Back on the 24-yard line. They hit him as fast as he got the ball. It was Jim Konecki and Dick Mogilewski, the tackles. They just wiped the interference right back into Taylor.
Stopped cold on the ground, Washington must now try the air lane.
Redskins out of the huddle. Here is Mitchell, flank left. Shiner to throw it again, being chased by Glass, and he is pulled down by Walter Johnson back on the 33-yard line. Glass crushed him out of the pocket, and Walter Johnson made the tackle.
The final score, Cleveland 17, Washington 7. On the Browns chartered airliner, Blanton Collier's biggest praise goes to his defensive team's outstanding effort. The first one had been captured on the repeat Road to Glory. September 26th, Municipal Stadium in Cleveland. And for 80,000 Cleveland Browns fans, this is a red-letter day. The feared St. Louis Cardinals, upset losers the preceding week, are in Cleveland to kick off the Browns' 65 home season. The fans arrive in overflow numbers, all with one single thought, to see the Cardinals beaten. And the Browns begin bravely.
Collins flank right, Roberts out 5 at left end. Ryan's going to throw it. Deep to the outside to Collins, and he shot the ball for a touchdown!
Cleveland leads 10-7 early second quarter. The huge stadium crowd settles back, waiting for a rout to take place. One starts, unfortunately, on the very next play.
Woodson and Silvestri back in double safety. Woodson's in the end zone. Here's the kick by Groza. That's going a little bit short, but not much. Taken on the 2-yard line by Woodson to the 10-15 right sidelines. He gets the one opening at the 30. He's away to the midfield stripe unless he's caught from behind. He finally hit and dropped all the way down on the Browns' 34-yard line by Mike Powell.
This is the kind of day that made Black Rock famous. What could go wrong, goes wrong. What shouldn't happen, does happen.
Roberts is flanked to the left. Here's Ryan back to throw the ball. Sets. Fires left sidelines. It is intercepted by Person on his 45. He's to the Browns' 40. He's to the 30. He's to the 20. He's to the 15, and he's finally hauled down by Ernie Green down on the Browns' 12-yard line.
The final score, 49-17 St. Louis, does not reflect the seriousness of the Browns' situation. Frank Ryan injured, unable to play next week. Vince Costello injured, unable to play next week. Galen Fisk out from the week before, unable to play next week. But the worst damage has been to the team's pride. Caution lights now flash across the Browns' victory road. October 3rd, Franklin Field in Philadelphia. And for the Cleveland Browns, a day of truth. 4 key players are sidelined for today's game, but excuses in the Browns book are meaningless. Only victory in today's Eagles game holds any meaning. And out on the field they go, led by reserve quarterback Jim Nanowski. The Eagles scored first as King Hill finds Pete Retzlaff all alone for a 2-yard touchdown pass. The Eagles 7, the Browns struggling. But the Browns battle back, led by Jim Brown, Superman in pass.
Collins, flank right, ends in tight. Give to Jim Brown, turning right end, behind Hickerson. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, a touchdown for the Browns.
Individually, this gives Jim Brown a record total of 106 lifetime touchdowns, but most important, it ties the Eagles at 7-7. Yet a 42-yard Eagles field goal sends the teams back to their dressing rooms with Philadelphia leading 10-7. Tension is everywhere inside the Browns' quarters, everywhere except with the coaches and players. Everyone is busily evaluating the first half and making necessary adjustments for second half combat. Sure, the going is tough. Now is the time to get going. Both teams matched third quarter touchdowns, but now the Browns must not only battle the Eagles, but the clock. Time has become as big an enemy as Philadelphia, and the Browns are forced to punt.
Jerry Collins to do the kicking. Timmy Brown and Scarpati are deep back at the 10. Here's the snap. Collins gets the kick end over end. Timmy Brown's under it. Got it at the 11. Fumbles the ball. It's back on the 5. It's still rolling. The Browns, I believe, is still rolling. The Browns have recovered the football. The ball is down on the 1-yard line.
The big break, which can decide the outcome of any game, decides this one. Jim Brown batters across. Browns lead 21-17. The Eagles try to play catch-up and get caught up.
Ron Goodman will flank to the left. Rowe will be a slot back to the left. Rowe goes out about 8 at right end. Flags down. Hill throws, and this one is intercepted by Pete. There's the 30. He's to the 20. 15, 10. Touchdown for the Cleveland Browns.
The final score, Browns 35, Eagles 17. The second big game at a time has been won. Ahead lies Cleveland in the Saturday night encounter with winless Pittsburgh. Frank Ryan will be ready. The world seems right again. October 10th, Municipal Stadium in Cleveland. And rain, football's greatest equalizer between haves and have-nots, pours down on Cleveland. It began at midday, and by game time this Saturday night, the playing field is a quagmire. Yet these conditions provide the setting for another heart-stopping Browns-Steelers battle. The field is a player's nightmare. Solid footing is virtually impossible. The risk of injury runs high in rain. Cleveland struggles to a 10-0 first quarter lead. Pittsburgh sloshes back to cut it down 10-6 at halftime. 15 more third quarter minutes of slipping and sliding end with Blanton's boys clinging to a slim 17-12 edge. The game ticks away. It's late in the final quarter when disaster strikes the Browns.
Collins standing on his 41. It's time. High end over end kick. Jefferson's under it. Going to let it hit at the 15. Goes to the 10. He picks it up at the 6. He's hit at the 8. He gets away to the 10. He's to the 15. He's to the 20. He's to the 30. He may go all the way. He's to the midfield stripe. He's hit at the 45. He gets away to the 40. He's to the 30. He's finally pulled down all the way down on the Browns' 26-yard line by Sidney Williams.
Shades of last week's Eagles encounter. On a night such as this, lightning could strike twice, and it does.
Ballman flank left. Martha's out 5 at the right end. First down and 10 at the 15-yard line. The give is to Hoke outside the tackle. He's hit at the 15. He's to the 10. He's to the 5. And he's down to the 2 to the 1. A touchdown for Hoke.
Pittsburgh leads 19-17. 3.5 minutes left to play. A driving rainstorm. Can the Browns come back? They answer like champions. Roberts returns the kickoff to Cleveland's 22. Frank Ryan mixes his play calls calmly, moving the ball club to Pittsburgh's 39. 1:16 remaining.
Gary Collins flanking to the right. The left end split is Roberts. He's out 5 yards. Ryan goes back to throw the ball. Fires a screen to the left. Good catch by Kelly. He's to the 40, the 39, the 38, 35, 32. He's to the 30. He's to the 25. He's to the 20. He's out of bounds all the way down on the 17-yard line.
Now, just 1 minute, 5 seconds are left to play.
Collins is out 3 at right end. Ryan flips the ball to Jim Brown, turning left end, inside of the 20. He's to the 15, to the 14, head down to the 13-yard line. That'll be it.
Cleveland calls timeout. Now the decision must be made. Risk a field goal in this rain or go for broke. Ryan confers with Collier. The choice is made. Ryan returns to the huddle. 49 seconds remain. There's no turning back.
Kelly is the wing back left. Collins is flanked to the right. Jim Brown the only running back. Ryan's going to throw it. Sets. Fires in the middle. Collins, touchdown!
The Browns win 24-19. And sometimes even one at a time is too many to play. October 24th, Yankee Stadium in New York. The Browns arrived to find the Isle of Manhattan buzzing with news stories. The first being Giant quarterback Earl Morrall's 4 touchdown passes last week, as Cleveland was beating Dallas 23-17. The second biggest news item is Philadelphia halfback Tim Brown has picked New York to halt the Browns' unrelenting one-at-a-time victory drive right here in Yankee Stadium. The tough young Giants balled into a first-quarter lead of 7-3, but the Browns' machinery begins to shift into high gear.
The Browns break the huddle. Roberts, flank left. Gary Collins splits 8 at right end. Third down, Ryan to throw. He fires in the end zone to Roberts, and it is a touchdown for the Browns!
Cleveland leads 10-7 and will never again trail New York. For pride is a two-way street, and if Cleveland's offensive unit is stunned by Tim Brown's pregame statement, so too are their defensive counterparts, who meet every Giant thrust head-on, including field goal attempts.
And Joe Morrison will do the holding. They're going to spot it at the 42-yard line. Slight angle from the right. Ball down. Kick is blocked by Franklin. Franklin picks it up on the 45 and he rolls out of bounds.
If yesterday's toast of Broadway had been Earl Morrall, the new big man in Gotham Town tomorrow will be Jim Brown for his running and passing today.
Green's a wingback left. Collins is flanked to the right side. Pitch to Jim Brown. He's going to throw it. He drills one deep. Collins is open. He's got it on the 15. He's to the 10. He's to the 5. And he is in for the touchdown.
The final score, the Browns 38, the Giants 14. If the news was all bad coming into New York, it's all good news as Cleveland departs. St. Louis was upset by Washington, leaving the defending champions all alone in first place. As the song says, "Hello, Dolly, it's so nice to have you back where you belong." November 7th, Municipal Stadium in Cleveland. And the Browns must again tangle with Philadelphia's Eagles in a crucial ball game. Crucial for 2 reasons. 1, victory is needed to maintain their 1-game lead in the East. And secondly, to regain the fans' favor after a down performance against Minnesota's Vikings in a 27-17 losing cause the week before. The Eagles seem bolstered by the prevailing uncertainty and strike quickly after the opening kickoff.
Glass will flank left. Bogue is out 5 at right end. Retzlaff a step at left end. Snead hands to Timmy Brown. Left tackle cuts inside. 50, 45. He's in the clear. 30, 25, 20, 10, 5, and a touchdown for the Eagles.
The Eagles 7, Browns nothing. But as the faint-hearted prepare to concede, the Browns prepare to fight back on the following play.
Baker's kickoff. Kelly and Roberts deep. Roberts on the 3. 5, left sidelines. 15, 20, up the middle. 30, 35. 40. He's to the 45. He's to the Eagles 40. He's to the 30. He's to the 20. And he's out of bounds on the 9-yard line.
The Browns are on the way back, bringing the crowd with them. Ryan hits Collins for the tying touchdown. Browns 7, the Eagles 7. But Philly has also come to play. Snead rallies them with another go-ahead score on a touchdown toss. Again, the men of Lake Erie must battle back, and again they do.
Browns out of the huddle. Gary, Collins, flank right. Well, Roberts, tight left end. Boers out of step at right end. Fake handoff. Ryan rolling right to throw. Now he's going to run up the middle. He's to the 30, 25. Gets away to the 20. He's to the 15. He's down to the 12-yard line.
The skilled quarterback in close goes with his power. Ryan now goes with his.
Ryan to Jim Brown on the trap. Right tackle. 4, 3, 2, 1. Touchdown!
The Browns 14, Eagles 14. After Lou grows a field goal, Cleveland seems to be in charge until the second half kickoff.
Here's a kickoff by Baker, drilled deep. Kelly's going to get it 2 yards deep, up the middle, 5, 10, left sideline, down the middle, 15, 20, 25. He fumbled the ball. It's rolling loose up at the 39-40. The Eagles recover the football at the 40-yard line.
What quickly follows is near disaster.
Brown's defensive unit out on the field in a hurry, and the Eagles offense unit comes on. All right, it's Glass, flank left. Big handoff. Steve's going to throw the first one. He throws deep, and it is caught by Retzlaff, 10-5, and he's down on about a touchdown, they call it.
The Eagles own the lead, 24-21, and the momentum. For a third time, Cleveland battles against the Tide and move to the Eagles' 42. Blanton Collier calls in the one man now who can balance the scales in both score and momentum.
It'll be a 49-yard attempt by Groza. Very slight angle from the left. The angle doesn't matter much this far out. There's the snap and the kick. It is far enough. It is good.
A 49-yard field goal by the toe, and the ball game is tied at 24-24. Oddly enough, it takes an Eagle to tip the scales in the Browns' favor.
Collins standing on the goal line. Nelson and Cross are in double save. Brown and Cross. Flag down, and they're going to be roughing the kicker. The ball's at the 50-yard line. Roughing the kicker is going to be called against George Tarasovic of the Philadelphia Eagles.
The big mistake has been made. Given new life, the Browns come to life and march 80 yards in 8 plays. The final score, Cleveland 38, the Eagles 34. More important, it made dedicated Brown believers of the 80,000 in attendance. This one, at this time, was indeed a big one. November 14th, Municipal Stadium in Cleveland. And another overflow crowd squeezes inside this Lakeshore Stadium to watch the Browns-Giants return match. They are here in sellout numbers to see 60 minutes of violence ending in a Browns victory. Cleveland will satisfy them on both counts today. New York's game plan is simple. Stop Jim Brown. Double team Gary Collins. Cleveland's strategy destroys this plan.
Ball on the New York 26-yard line. Frank Ryan calling the play. Brings the Browns out of the huddle. Roberts will be flank left. Ends tight. Giants defense moving in the middle. Ryan's going to throw it. Looking, Green's wide open, right flat. He's got it. 20. He's to the 15. And he is in for a touchdown.
Ernie Green, the decoy on passes. Ernie Green, the blocking back. Now it's Ernie Green, the key weapon of the offense. But the Giants quickly rebound to score on an Earl Morrow pass. 7-7 game, still in the first quarter. And now the chanting begins. And the Browns respond, driving 67 yards down to the Giant 3.
All right, here's Roberts flank to the left side. Collins a split four at right end. Brewer tight left end. Ryan to Jim Brown on the trap. Right tackle. 4, 3, 2, 1. Touchdown!
Cleveland 14, the Giants 7. But New York is no stranger to violence, and trailing 17-7, they strike swiftly.
It's now third down. 15 yards to go for the Giants on their 21. Jones flank left. Morrison's out 5 at right end. Thomas a step at left end. Morrow back in the pocket. Looks. Fires, and it is caught by Jones at the 40. He's away to the 50. He's going to go all the way for a touchdown.
Angrily, the Browns defensive unit leaves the field. To stop Earl Morrow from running up a high score, they must start Earl Morrow running for his life, and the Browns fans respond. The defensive unit hits first. Hits hardest.
Blitz on him. He's chased. He's got by Williams, and he is going to be nailed all the way back on the Browns' 37-yard line. Glass, Williams, and Wiggum were all in on the play. The Browns had a blitz on.
And keeps on hitting. For football, stripped of its complicated X's and O's on a blackboard and minus its formations and terminology, is a game of physical contact. The outcome of every football game is decided up front, on the line where punishment is given and taken in generous amounts. And this day, the Browns' up-front defense upended the Giants' offense, right down to the final play of the game.
Morrison flanked to the right. Jones out 5 yards at left end. Morrow back to throw, rolling right, being chased. He's hit by Mogilewski and by Glass and by Johnson. And he's down at the 45 as the gun sounds.
The Giants had scored once more and then no more after the Jones touchdown pass. Cleveland wins 34-21. And for all the Browns, their victory road has been shortened by one giant-sized step. November 21st, the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, Texas. Inside this famed stadium, another milestone is reached. More than 76,000 people are here to witness the Browns-Dallas game. It's the largest home crowd ever to see the Cowboys in action. And inspired by the record crowd turnout, the Cowboys turn out a strong defensive effort at the game's outset. Collier's Cleveland Chargers are forced to punt 3 consecutive times. Then Dallas grabs the lead when...
This field goal attempt will be from the 10-yard line, slight angle to the right. Here's the snap, ball down, Villanueva kicks, and it is good.
Cowboys 3, Browns nothing. Early second quarter, but just as Cowboy fans visualize a Dallas upset win, the Browns send their dream world crashing down. First with the toe.
Rose's kick is far enough. It is good. A 46-yard field goal by Groza ties the ball game at 3-3.
Next with the man.
Fourth down, 1 yard to go for the Browns at the Dallas 3-yard line. Roberts flanks left. Brewer and Collins, the ends, are in tight. Here's a give to Jim Brown, sweeping left end. He's caught back at the 7, gets a block, hit back at the 5, fights away to the 4, to the 2. One hand's on the ground. Jim Brown bolts into the end zone. Touchdown for Jim Brown.
Nearly half of the Cowboys' defensive unit had a shot at Jim Brown and failed in what possibly is the finest short-distance power run in Cotton Bowl history. And still the Browns aren't through. Before the half, the jet set fires a touchdown torpedo.
Ridgway back to punt for Dallas, standing back at his own 15. Here's a good snap and the kick. High spiral, a good kick. Leroy Kelly waiting for it. Got it at his 33, starts to his left. Kelly gets a good block at the 40. He's to the 45. Kelly cut back in the middle. 50, 45 to the Dallas 40. He's down to the 30, to the 20. Leroy Kelly all the way for a touchdown.
The Browns 17, the Cowboys 3. Dallas is dead. Or are they?
Here's Meredith rolling out to his right, flushed out of the pocket. Meredith on the long bomb to Bob Hayes in the end zone. Hayes caught the ball. A beautiful catch
3:53 left in the fourth quarter. The Browns 24, Dallas 17, but the Cowboys have the momentum. The Cowboys have the determination, and the Cowboys have the ball. The Cotton Bowl is a madhouse when
Frank Clark slot back to the left. Buddy Dial splits 4 at left end. Here's Meredith back to throw. Sets, fires deep to Buddy Dial, and it is incomplete. Wait a minute, flag down. The Browns have been called for pass interference on the Cleveland 1-yard line.
First and goal for Dallas on the Browns 1. Ford tries to move the ball 36 inches. Cleveland's defensive unit is fighting for its very life. Seemingly only a miracle could hold Dallas now.
Here come the Cowboys out of the huddle. Browns goal line unit digging in. Perkins and Dunn of the setbacks behind Meredith. The end's in tight. Flanker to the right. Meredith on a fake handoff. Meredith's going to throw in the end zone. The ball is batted into the air. Intercepted by Vince Costello. It's Cleveland's ball.
A miracle? Maybe. A poor play call? Could be. A second guesser's delight? Certainly. But a Browns victory it will be. The courageous Cowboys take one more shot through the air, but Ross Fiedner intercepts this last-ditch Dallas aerial to clinch Cleveland's 24-17 victory and keep their road to victory free of detours. The Browns depart from the Cotton Bowl after blackening the eyes of Texas. November 28th, Pitt Stadium in Pittsburgh. Gusty winds and biting cold greet the Browns in today's rematch with their turnpike rivals, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pitt Stadium will be the final stop and step on their one-at-a-time-to-glory season. A victory today will clinch at least a tie for the Eastern Division title. If St. Louis and New York also, but then only this game matters. The frigid weather contributes to checkmating both ball clubs in the first half until midway through the second quarter. Cleveland's heralded jet set takes charge.
Lambert to kick, standing about 5 yards deep in the end zone. Kelly and Roberts back in double safety between the Browns 40 and 45. There's the snap and the kick. Good kick. Kelly's under it. Got it on his 44. Left sideline, 50, 45 of the Steelers. He's to the 30. He's down to the 20. He's down to the 15, to the 10, to the 5, to the 2. A touchdown for the Browns.
Kelly's great return provides the only score as the Browns return to their dressing room, protecting a 7-0 lead. The halftime news from the scoreboard is good. Chicago is manhandling the Giants. The Eagles have gone ahead of the Cardinals. This, then, can be the last one needed. This, then, is the time to execute as never before. And how they executed. And how they won.
Here's Cleveland out of the huddle. Walt Roberts will be the flanker to the left. Ernie Green's back in the lineup. Collins out 7 at right end. Handoff Jim Brown, left end. 20, 25, gets away to the 30, 35 to the 40, to the 45. He's gone. 40, 30, 20, down to 15. Button behind and pulled down on the 11.
And 4 plays later, Browns lead 14-0 when
Jim Brown, right tackle, fights the 2-1, and he's in for the touchdown.
these were truly world champions in action. Unsinkable on the ground.
Handoff to Jim Brown, turning left end at the 20, to the 15, 10, 5, 8, touchdown to Jim Brown.
And unstoppable through the air.
Dino back to throw. Fires deep. Johnny Brewer's got it, a touchdown for the Browns.
Only one thing could stop the Browns in this second half, the clock, as on the final play.
We give the scales of right tackle over the 20 to the 24-yard line. The first down, and there's the gun. The ball game is over.
The final score, the Browns 42, the Steelers 21. It's Cleveland's 9th win in 11 games. 1 hour later, the scoreboard news flashes St. Louis and New York defeats. the defending world champs have successfully defended their conference crown. When you begin to evaluate the Cleveland Browns' 1965 season, your first temptation is to point to one play or one game or one man and say this is why the Browns retained their crown. However, this is impossible. Their continued success was the result of many factors, starting with team desire and determination, the ability to capitalize on the big break, the ability to avoid making the big mistake. It was a season built around a Jim Brown fantastic run, a Gary Collins clutch catch, a Frank Ryan strategic call, a block by Ernie Green, a second effort downfield by Dick Shaprath, a Vince Costello interception, a Larry Benz last-ditch tackle, a savvy old pro Dick Modzelewski anchoring the defensive line, a Paul Wiggin Bill Glass rush, a Sidney Williams fumble recovery, a Stan Zurich tackle on a kickoff. It was the front office, the coaching staff, but most of all, it was everyone's uncompromising belief in a basic plan formulated last July in the Browns' Hiram, Ohio training camp.
We must play one game at a time, for only that game has real importance to us. We must prepare, execute, and win that one game. It's the only way.
And come to think of it, that's all anyone could ask of the 1965 Cleveland Browns.